What is up, YouTube? It is Alec Ashby from Alec Ashby Hip Hop Reviews and News, where it gets as real and raw as it gets. I started this channel because during the school year, a lot of my friends leave, and I go to community college, and I love talking about hip hop, and I don't have anyone to talk to about it, so I figured why to talk about a camera to it, see where it goes, you know. Never really gave a shit what people think, so this might be cringy as fuck, but, you know, just doing what I gotta do. Yeah, so, like, I've just been watching a lot of videos on, like, following your dreams, following your passions, you know, and a lot of, like, these YouTubers say they just started doing this shit. They didn't worry about, like, the camera angles or some shit. But, yeah, I just wanted to, on this episode, I just wanted to talk about, some, my favorite rap albums to come out this year, and maybe towards the end I can just talk about where I want to see this channel go, or how far I might go with it, or if I might quit. I don't know. So the first album I'd like to talk about is Damn by Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite rappers. This album is like very versatile. I remember when it came out, it was just so fucking good. Actually, the first like 2 listens, I thought it was trash. I'm not gonna lie. I always liked DNA and like the Triple X song with U2. But the more and more I listen to it, I just love the whole thing. Maybe like one track I don't like is Pride, just the way it sounds. But even then, I still like it. It's just a great album overall. The album just basically just describes some, like, its big like theme is like life, you know, like Kendrick's DNA. It talks about his loyalty. It's just basically just defines life. Some of like the most underrated tracks I think is Ducksworth, where Kendrick is using his storytelling ability tell a story actually on how the TDE label founder almost killed his dad, but a KFC saved his life. Some story to do with like him giving free KFC. It's pretty dope. The beat switches a million times. That's one of the things I love about Kendrick is every single album he changes his sound. He's changing his flows like all the time in all these songs. So many beat switches, like on the song Element. There's like 50 million beat switches, flow switches. There's so many punchlines, just crazy. DNA, that beat switch is fucking insane. And even songs like Yeah have grew on me. At first I thought that song was complete trash, but if you listen to it after DNA, it makes so much sense, like the order of it. And yeah, it's a pretty good album. The next album on my list is All American Badass by Joey Badass. I'm not going to lie, the replay value ever since this came out has gone down for me a little bit, but still overall it's a great album. It just gives me that good 90s style New York, but then he also does some more radio friendly songs like Temptation or For My People. The one song I really like on this is Ring the Alarm, which features Michi Darko of the Flatbush Zombies and Nick Caution and Kirk Knight, which I'm going to get into later in the video. But Kirk Knight and Nick Caution fucking killed that shit. And then the bridge from Michi Darko was pretty insane. I mean, it made a lot of sense. Like, just the bars in that thing was insane. Also like this song Legendary. It's just a pretty smooth track, and J. Cole's featured on it. And he usually doesn't get features on songs. That's pretty unique, I'd say. But overall, this album basically just, he's trying to empower the youth on, like, the racial corruption in America. Some of the tracks I honestly go back least on are probably the songs that address some of those things. It just is very basic. It doesn't go too deep. But overall, man, it's a pretty mature album. I mean, Joey Badass isn't much older than me, which is kind of crazy to think about. So it's just a pretty good New York album. It's got some jazz rap in there. Even on songs like Devastated, he's expanding his musical range. But that song released a year before the album. But he like does some singing on that. Or songs like, there's this song, I forgot what it was called. But it was just it had just a dope ass verse. What is that song? It's called, shit. Yeah, just leave in the comments. It's like in the middle of the album. I can't remember. I'll probably put it in the description below. I just can't remember the song. But there's just like this. I just remember there's this dope ass verse on that thing. Alright, for my next album that I've liked so far this year is Renaissance by the Underachievers. Now, I've been a pretty big fan of the Underachievers since my boy Thomas Harston showed me them, and they're just so versatile. Basically, like they just make three types of songs. They either make a banger, like a social commentary ballad, or they make stoner tracks. And I mean, like a lot of times that's all I really want to listen to. And I put this album on repeat, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's they didn't really grow that much, but it's just like I'm a pretty big Underachievers fan, so I'm pretty sure it's for their fans. I mean, I like their previous work with The Art of Duality, but probably Indigoism is my favorite album by them. But overall, it's just like for their core fans. It's just got basic stuff. I mean, like probably some of my favorite songs on there would be Crescendo. Like that hook is just catchy as hell. He's just like, if Tupac and JL ever collided, like damn, that shit's just so fucking catchy. I like Final Destination, Phoenix Feathers, How We Roll. I mean, there's just so many good just songs just bumping the whip, if you know what I mean. Next album I got in here for surprise is Culture by Migos. Now, I'm not the biggest mumble rap fan, but I've always been a pretty big Migos fan. There are definitely some songs I do not like on here. Like, I do not like Bad and Bougie. I don't understand that Lil Uzi verse is just whack as hell. And I don't know, I just find the hook bait. I don't understand it. I don't like All Ass, but pretty much all the songs in there I like, and it's just a pretty motivational album. Like some tracks like Big on Big, I mean, I listened to that a lot when I was driving to school, like just to motivate me to make it to the top, you know, where I want to be. I really enjoy like Quavo's work on the hooks and stuff. Offset's flow is just insane. And then Takeoff's probably the worst, but he still has some moments, like his verse on Slippery was pretty good. Probably like my two favorite tracks, like I said, is probably Big on Big and Get Right With Ya. I mean, those songs they just bump, man. Next album on the list is actually one that just recently got released, was Scumfuck Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator. Now, this might be my favorite album of the year so far, but obviously it just released. This thing, it's just, the beats on this thing are just so fucking layered. And there's so many good singers on this. There's even two bangers that I really like I Ain't Got Time and Who That Boy. I mean, and A$AP Rocky snapped on that. I don't know why people think A$AP Rocky is fucking washed. They're fucking insane. But yeah, he just really did his thing on this. I mean, some of my favorite songs on this is See You Again. That song almost makes, like, if I was like sad or something, that song would make me fucking cry. Like, the song is so fucking beautiful. And like, my friend was telling me this the other day. He knew like the perfect times to come in and rap, because a lot of times there's like a decent amount of singing, but it seems like it's never too much. It just really fits the vibe. I also like the way he ended the album. He just ended it with this like dope ass instrumental, which kind of gave me those Awaken My Love, Childish Gambino kind of vibes. It was kind of like that kind of sound. Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite albums. Yeah, I mean, there's like, honestly, there's not really one song I don't like in particular. I mean, even Boredom, I thought that song was bland as hell, but it's really grown on me. Like, just all these songs, they've really grown on me. But, yeah, I mean, top from bottom, even Pothole with Jaden Smith, which I thought was fucking funny as hell that he got Jaden Smith on there. That song, like, that was like the first song I was like, okay, he's really bringing the heat, when I was just listening to it straight through. Yeah, it's just overall, I mean, he tackles his sexuality, like industry politics bullshit. And yeah, man, it's just pretty dope. It's probably his best work. Like, if you haven't listened to Tyler, Creator, because he has all that controversial shit, or he's just like weird as hell, this album is like way different than anything else he's done. It's pretty dope. He's just a pretty dope artist in general. Then my next album, now I don't really like this album as a whole. There's just some tracks on this thing that I just really like, so I had to put it on the list. Is Wins and Losses by Meek Mill. This thing will motivate the fucking hell out of you, man. It'll make you want to fucking wake up and just prove people fucking wrong. And that's like a lot of times what I look for music. Like, just on that opening track, just like that intro, he's like, you gotta feel the dream. You gotta want the dream. Like, that shit just gets me going, man. And he obviously addresses some of the beef he's had with Drake with like songs like Heavy Heart, 1942 Flows. Like, these are just some really good songs. Now, of course, there are some like average songs or worse songs in here, and even I even like some of like the songs I didn't think I'd like the joint with Lil Uzi Vert, or the joint with Young Thug. I mean, there's some joints I won't go back to them, but when I was like, okay, you know, decent. I love the last song, Price, the price of being great. That hook is just so many motivational stuff. I mean, a lot of good bangers too, like Ball Player with Quavo. I'm a pretty big Quavo fan. That just sounded like a Quavo song to me, but it fucking bumps. I mean, there's not a lot of subject range on that song, but it just goes hard. That beat is so bouncy. Even though Quavo kind of copied Drake's flow from that Free Smoke song, I mean, it works on those like bouncy type beats. And the last song I want to talk about is Young Black America, which is probably like one of his best songs he's ever released. Then that kind of sucks is it's over this Jay-Z beat that's pretty popular. I don't know. I didn't really go back and listen to a lot of early